Hi Scott, it's great to connect with you with what I'm sure has been a busy 3 weeks for you and your team, providing the digital infrastructure as well as second screen experience at the Tour de France.
So Ravi, it's great to be on a call with you. I know you're in San Francisco. I'm actually standing literally on the finish line of the Tour de France, the 2017 Tour de France. The finish line is probably 11 or 12 meters from where we are now. I apologize for the noise in the background. It's about 2 hours before the final peloton comes through.
I would really like to understand some of the core technology that actually went into putting together the behind the scenes experience that you were able to provide to your audience at Tour de France this year.
We've been involved with the ASO as the technology partner for the last 3 years, and it's all about trying to help the tour digitally transform, because we're in this new digital age where the fan of today is a very digital savvy fan and a very data hungry fan. And we started off in 2015 by just putting in basic tracking of every bicycle. Every second we get a positional data point from every bicycle, all 198 riders on the race. And with that, we've been able to complement that with other data sets to be able to tell a story about the race. For us, there's kind of been 5, I guess, key elements to us being able to deliver a data solution to the Tour de France. It started off with IoT. So for us, it's obviously about tracking every bicycle every second. And our team had to put a lot of work into figuring out how to make sure that IoT system works well, is 99.9% reliable. We're getting the data we need in the time we need it to be able to make the kind of calls that we're talking about. So it's a great IoT story for us. Secondly, this is about hybrid IT. We couldn't do this without having to make sure that we had a cloud backup system, a cloud environment in place. We needed a lot of CPU power to make this work, and the loads on the CPU were varying every day depending on where we were, etc. Data in this new age that we live in now is all around security. Everybody's trying to access data and hack data, so we had to put in an enterprise-grade security environment around our data. Fourthly, we've needed to put together a team of people that work in a very collaborative workforce way. So we've got the team here based on the ground, but the team here are actually just more the coordinators and the central sort of collaboration team working with the likes of the ASO and the media people in country. But we've had a team in South Africa working on the website. We've had a team in San Francisco who've been monitoring our cloud environment and the CPU capacity that we need. We've had a team in London sitting in our data house who've been generating all the information that ended up on the Twitter feed. We've had a team in Melbourne working on this environment. So this has been a great way for Dimension Data to showcase how we can implement solutions using all of our employees all around the world.
So you had about 600 of these pretty cool looking sensors that have gone under the seats of the bikers. Now, how did you get all of this data into the cloud environment? Because obviously Alps is not known for its traditional reception.
So I've got a device here as well in front of me, Robbie, which I'm holding, and so we had to clearly make a device that was very light, because first of all the cyclists didn't want to have something that was heavy from a cycling perspective, because they're fanatical about the weight of their bikes. The data volume has increased significantly. So in our second year in 2016, we were only using. We figured out we only had about 128 million data points over the course of the race. But this year it's been about 3 billion data points. And we've created a radio frequency mesh network amongst the bicycles, the motor vehicles, the motorbikes. That then gets relayed. It piggybacks on the back of the television, signal. It gets relayed up to helicopters. There's a helicopter that's constantly circling over the peloton at all times. That then also gets relayed up to a fixed wing aircraft. From the fixed wing aircraft, it gets sent down point line of sight to a cherry picker that's actually sitting right above me right now at the end zone. And then from there we back it out to the the cloud, and then we also collect some of the data here in our data truck. So it's a complicated environment that we've had to create. I like to call it the sort of the best outdoor stadium Wi-Fi environment ever created.
So with over 150 million geospatial data points, as well as 60 virtual servers and data coming in from a constantly moving IoT network, were you ever concerned about scaling this?
Yes, Ravi, we were, I guess, initially, but that's the power of the cloud, right? So we knew that with all of this data and our ability to access and use our managed cloud services solution, we could bring up CPU power, if you like, as and when we needed it.
Scott, it's been an amazing story of infrastructure, distributed software, as well as diverse dispersed team members.